social. This is the last one in our series, which has been a great success. The first one was on branding with Ali Rout from the Opelika Chamber, previously Chicken Salad Chick. The second was from LMG Ad Agency's Lizzie Arbogast on do's and don'ts for social media. And the last one is presented today by Elle Fuller from Calpers Publishers, and it is digital must-haves. Elle is an expert in the digital realm with a lot of marketing and advertising platforms for several online digital publications throughout the state and Southeast, I believe, as well. So a lot of good knowledge. This is being recorded, so we'll be sending this out to our membership and to anyone who would like to have this as a resource for yourself or your teams. I want to thank A&M Plumbing for being the presenting sponsor of our workshop series, and we're excited to continue to do more of these and provide these learning opportunities for our community. Without any further ado, I'd like to introduce Ms. Elle Fuller from Calpers Publishers.
Thank you, Jacob. Where do I want to be? Probably a little bit over here. Thanks for the introduction. Like he said, I am the Digital Success Manager at Calpers Publishers. The bulk of what I do is manage our digital advertising, and then the rest of it is miscellaneous digital. I was thinking about this. I've been doing this for almost 15 years, marketing, PR, advertising, sales. Might as well throw in social media, that all those things are different. So this is my knowledge to you. I was not expecting such a big crowd on Veterans Day, so thank you all for being here. Okay, so on the screen here, digital must-haves, at least do these. Those are my thoughts. Hopefully, you will have something that'll be a takeaway for today that you can do maybe the end of this week, or create a list. These are some things that we can work on. Hopefully they're easy to implement. I definitely had to cut my list. I wanted to focus on that easy to implement. I started kind of my getting into these consulting opportunities with nonprofits, and there's not really a budget for that. So what are some free, easy, quick, may or may not quick things to do? So again, pick 1 or 5. What are some things that you can do in no particular order? So this was just, let me take 10 minutes and I'm gonna write down as many things as I can. Cole, and here's what we got. But first, I always say that if I had my own business, which for some reason the example I like to use is if I had a lemonade stand at the end of my driveway, I would have these items in place. So we're gonna talk about that. So Elle's Lemonade and Haberdashery. Anybody know what haberdashery means? It's a fun word. It's like, Jacob, you know?
Yes.
Go ahead.
It's like a place where you get a variety of different
You're there. We'll say you're there.
goods, like greenery. I'm thinking greenery.
Just like a assorted type of variety store in that regards, or depending on where you are in the world, it could be more so focused on men's clothing. So lemonade and then whatever else I put out on the table is basically what I'm selling at the end of my road. So we're going to use my lemonade stand as an example for quite a few of these. Elle's Lemonade and Haberdashery. The very first thing, I guess maybe there is a little bit of order, but Google My Business. If you are not found on Google, you do not exist. And that just happens to be the way of the world. People communicate with their search engine of choice, may or may not be Google, want to include that in there, more than they do with anything else. That's the very first place that I'm going to go if I'm looking for information. That's where my research starts. That's what it is. My best friend told me that she met a friend of a friend that was going to give her some life coaching, and I was like, oh, tell me everything. I need her name, the name of her business. You keep talking, I'm going to be Googling. Nothing to be found. So what do you think I'm thinking about her possible reputability? Is she someone who is trustworthy? How long has she been doing this if she does not have an internet presence at all? When it comes to the local area, I know that Mondays we have fewer lunch choices. Well, there's also all the places that have not recently updated their Google My Business. I checked online to confirm the hours. I looked on their Facebook, looked on their Google, and guess what? They're closed on Mondays. Google is the place you want to go to update all of your things. Make sure your hours are correct. Make sure your location is correct. I was meeting someone, what I thought was deeper on the 280, GPS took me to a spot between AT&T and Zaxby's. So I don't know where that spot was, but I had to phone a friend before I made a U-turn and hurt myself again on those streets out there. So Google My Business, make sure you head there, check and see what's about it. If you do not have one set up, start one. If it's unclaimed, work on it. If you do have it claimed, find out who owns it. What can you do to update it and keep that organized and flowing? A bad website is worse than no website at all. Yes, that is a fact. You do need a website. There are lots of different ways you can get a website out there, but you do need a website. A website is potentially evergreen content. Even if it's not something that you are constantly updating and maintaining, you still should have a website. You can even link your social media to your website. If your website is just your logo and then populating photos from your Facebook, that is better than nothing at all. So you do need a presence online. You need a website. I've got a few of these scattered out. I'm calling these offline freebies. These are some things to think about outside of your digital presence that do affect what people find online. I always say that a pressure washer is the #1 marketing tool. A dusty building is going to keep people away. And phone etiquette. Your employees need to know what is going on with your business. If you need to, have a script available, but they should easily be able to spit out your hours. They should know the day is special. There should not have to be a question where someone is having to ask someone else, lay it all out there for them. Google is my first step, and then I want to call and find out more information. Make sure the person answering the phone is friendly, knows what they're doing, and can give me those answers. And then we always want to be learning. I know everybody's busy, but if you can't read a book, you can read a blog post. So just keep that in mind. Some offline freebies. Google Analytics. Numbers are numbers. They're real, they're tangible, they work. We always know that 2 + 2 is going to equal 4, except when it doesn't, and I don't know what to tell you when that happens. But Google Analytics is a free resource from Google that's going to tell you everything you need to know about the back end of your website. You do not have to know how this is set up. You don't need to know really how it works. You just need to set it up to start. And then from there, you can start to learn more. But this is important. Get your website, set it up with Google Analytics, and it will primarily sort itself out in the long run. Got a little note here. We all get tons of emails. My email is almost a bottomless hole at this point. I'm trying to get under 20,000 unread messages right now. I hear some judgment in the back. That's fine. I'm working on it. Have an email that you use solely for analytics, or maybe that's the email address you have all of your Facebook logged in going to. Just sort them out. I have an email that is for bills. I know if I'm using money, I use this email address, but then I also have labels in my email. But sort what you can out. But for things like Google Analytics, you're going to get a lot of information, so you know at the end of every month or every quarter, whenever, you know that I can find my Google My Business reporting here. I can find my analytics here. This is where I have a heat map set up, but just an option, set it to the side. A little deeper into email. We send a lot, we want to be professional. We want to present ourselves as experts in our fields. Why are we the best at what we do? Why should you choose my company over other companies? It starts with the email. If you're not sending invoices, I don't see that here, that's a good place to start. Lots of free resources to do that. First on the list, we have templates. If you know that you do the same type of product over and over again, or you know the things that you need, have it. So all you have to do is copy and paste it. You can set up templates inside of most email providers, or you can just have a document that you're constantly updating and changing, but you're able to copy and paste that information right on in there. Have your email signature set up. This new trend going on right now is where you have a photo that looks like an email signature, but take the time, take the effort to create an email signature. So you can have clickable links. So people can click your number and call you. So they can click and go to your social, click and go to your website, et cetera, et cetera. I think that the way that emails are structured, you're not looking up above your email, you're looking below in that signature. That's where you're getting the information. So make it easy for people to take advantage of that. When it comes to your employees, I don't recommend sharing an email account. Everybody needs their own email if possible, and make sure that you are in control of your things. You don't want to have one of your employees set something up and now you can't manage that, or your employee has their own Gmail account that's not connected to your account. We want to put all that together. I personally do not spend money with people that have free email accounts. I don't know the safety, the tracking of it. I'm not buying a home from a realtor that is at gmail.com. Not doing it. I'm curious about your back end. But there are Alias accounts. An Alias account allows you to present yourself as a professional, but it's still free. Just slightly different. But we'll talk more about those. Then we have the option for your personal assistant. I learned this from a woman that does probably $5 million a year in consulting. Good content. I stalk her, Nicole Walters. But she has a fake assistant. So she has an Alias account set up, and you email the assistant, her, and she responds back. It's just another layer of protection potentially if you have an assistant, fake assistant, that's going to be an email alias. And again, we'll talk a little bit more about that. Social media is hard. Period. The end. I could have just said that and went to the next slide. It is work. To me it sounds insulting when someone says that a kid is running something or an intern is managing a social account, because there are so many variables to it. You have to know the right words to say. You need to be aware of your results you're trying to get, plus you're tracking and measuring things. So it's not for the faint of heart. It's hard. Again, I could go to the next slide. But a few things I did want to talk about. If you were not here last week, these are being recorded, so make sure you check out Lizzie Arbogast's social media session. Own your page. Someone could have set it up for you. That's okay. You need to be an owner as well. Mentioned it a little bit with the employees. You do not want your employee to have control over your page. So make sure you own your page, you have the passwords for it, you are listed as the owner. You do not need to have a social media account with every single platform, but it may be beneficial for you to claim the page somewhere. Twitter is an interesting one. If you do not have a Twitter account right now, you do not need one. It's too late. You've missed the wave. Don't get on Twitter. However, that doesn't mean you don't need to go on Twitter and claim your username. So just have it set up, fill out your bio, do approximately one tweet that says, thanks for visiting our page, go to our website. That's it. That's all you need. But you do need to claim on as many platforms as you can. You don't need to be there, but do it. Because you want to know your audience. If I just told you, if you're not on Twitter, it's too late, but that doesn't mean tweeters aren't your audience. Where are they going? If I know my crowd is a certain demographic, then maybe that's the one I need to focus on. Am I trying to reach a younger crowd? Then Instagram is it for me. Maybe I don't focus on Facebook. Or, maybe LinkedIn is the place I need to be because I have professional services, which, by the way, everybody needs a LinkedIn. I should have put that up here. You don't have to use it, but your business needs one because people are tagging you, people are looking up. Claiming all of your social pages is really just one more listing that pops up when people Google search for you. So it is something good to have. And then know your platform. Make sure you are tailoring specifically to the crowd that you are trying to reach. And you do that by whether it's fewer hashtags because I'm using this program or I need to correct the mentions that I'm doing. Know what you're doing. Make sure it's accessible. I should be able to scroll to the bottom or see at the top your social media when I go to your website or connect them. There is a boutique I saw recently. They had a nice video. I could tell it came from Instagram. So I went to their Facebook About section. Their Instagram isn't connected. So I had to take a few extra steps to go to their Instagram And then I decided I didn't have time to do that. It wasn't readily available for me. So they possibly missed out on an opportunity to do business with me because they didn't make it easy for me to interact with them. Complete your profile. Fill out everything. I talked about Mondays. You show that you're open on Facebook. Your Google My Business says you're open. You're not open. Make sure it's complete, up to date. Make sure your hours are there. Make sure your address is there. That blows my mind that so many local businesses, you only have one location, and I can't find your hours on your Facebook because that's all you have because you don't have a website. Sell if possible. There are so many ways that you can make money online if you want to. God bless those people. It's not for me. But Facebook is encouraging you to sell online. They just recently released all these systems and resources for small business owners for the holiday season. So if you do sell, check those out, but make sure you have product listings on Instagram, on Facebook, in places like that, because make it easier for people to buy your products. Consistent quality content. It starts with one day. You don't need to be in all these places. Manage what you can do, but you want to have quality content. You don't want to just throw things out there, and you want to be consistent. My favorite strategy I tell people is start with a quote. Whatever your industry is, find some quotes. Look up 10 quotes about real estate, 10 quotes about lemonade. That's what I would do. I would do a Google search for lemon jokes, lemonade puns, lemonade captions, those sorts of things. I would take those and I would do 10 posts. Create a template, plug in those quotes, schedule them. And now I have 10 weeks of content because it is Lemonade Mondays. And then I'm good for the next 10 weeks. That'll carry me through the new year. Once I consistently do that, now I've got more posts in my queue over here. I'm going to move on to Thursdays. Thursdays, I'm going to do a product special, or maybe on Thursdays, I'm going to make sure I share a photo of what new specials we have on the haberdashery table. But consistent and quality content. And then aiming to grow. Start with one day, move to the next day, or maybe it's move to a new platform. I have this consistent, so I'm going to grow. This is the longest URL I could find. Is it nice? No, it's not. Hotels.com decided that they were going to do this for whatever reason, but isn't that kind of fun? Brands have a personality. Get in the Guinness World Record book if you want to. You can look this up on your own, but if you were to type all of this in or click on this link, it would redirect you to hotels.com. Fun and foolery that I won't be participating in, but I did want to share with you all.
Did you read it?
I glanced over it.
But you didn't read it word for word?
It's just a bunch of different types of hotels, and then it talks about rewards, and there's like a story in there after a while. Take a peek at it. Like there's Tammy, farm animals. Yeah, what does it say?
Okay.
Seaside cabanas, which seem like the same thing, and bed and breakfasts, and it's like in a mess. For your own pleasure, check it out on your own. If possible, not say if possible, you need a .com. All of the other ones, to me, do not lend credibility. If you have to do a .net, if you're a .org, that I think nonprofit or resources. So be mindful if you are choosing a unique URL. I know there are some different options that you can do. Make sure it makes sense. Like you don't need to put www. whatever every single time, because we know .com. If you do have something that is a little bit more vanity, so if lemonade was an option, I would have to always put www.l.lemonade every single time so people would recognize that that is a website. So something to think about, but .com. I've got some examples here. For this particular company, viperlock.com was taken. So how can we think outside of the box and find some other options that either tell about our product or describe it in a way that is going to get people to remember it? Because that's really what it's about. Telephone numbers, I don't know what to tell you. Does anybody know the number to the chamber? If you needed it, what would you do?
Google it.
and that's why your telephone number is not important. Okay. So we've got some examples here of how this company thought outside of the box to get there. Back to me. This would be my URL. I would do drivewaylemonade.com. If you are familiar with my brand, you would know that I'm at the end of my driveway and I sell lemonade. So to me, that's an easy way to remember. And along with my free email account, these are some of the email addresses that I would have to go along with this. I always say be mindful of the length of your web address because this is also going to be what you use for email. So you don't want to have something super, super long, but if it is easy to remember, people will not mind typing that in. I know someone, this is being recorded, so oh well. But her web address, and I'm going to mess this up because it is so long, it is like Golden Care Community Base Resources and something or another.com. I don't even know what I just said, and that's why. Drivewaylemonade.com, and we've got some examples of the email addresses. Please.
Can you speak about the importance of key search terms versus length?
Absolutely. Let's go back a bit. Our Viper Lock example here, I'm assuming that they do keyless and Bluetooth entry. You have Get Viper Lock, super easy, something that you can say out to people. Because again, your number is your number, but if I was talking to someone in passing, I could say, oh, just go to getviperlock.com, you'll see everything we need to know. Simple as that. Bluetooth Lock Company, also very simple. I don't have to remember the name of your service, but I know what you do. I need a Bluetooth lock, and here's a company that does it. So there are definitely some opportunity and room for variety inside of your URL. To me, this is a very important decision. You should not just take this lightly. You should put some thought into it because you should be able to build on it. And I talked about you don't want anything other than a .com. It's not too late to change it. You can still forward people to your existing, or you can start training and teaching people about how to move. But all of these things are absolutely SEO friendly keywords, and they're going to come up. If I'm looking for a Bluetooth Lock Company is definitely going to rise to the top faster than Viper Lock. I don't know if that's a snake mouth mechanism. Who knows? So the Alias email accounts, I wanted to talk about these just a little bit. info@drivewaylemonade.com would be my go-to. That would be at the bottom of my website. That would be on my social media. That's where I would send people to. I would send people to my email address would be L. That's where I would send my vendors. That's where I would have my personal conversations with the owner. Those would go there. Then we have order or maybe catering. If you had a specific bulk order, you would know to go there. Or maybe it would be events. Some options there. But these are all coming to the same email. Me and my assistant. What's my assistant's? I want a him assistant. No, unisex. That's better. Avery. Avery, my assistant, is going to take all of these except those that come to me. That's it. Talk to Avery. Your logo. Such critical. Let me go back. I meant to mention that. Do y'all like that little thing I found on the internet? Isn't that so cute? I am a brand wizard, I tell you what. Okay. So, your logo, the very first thing it says up here is located. If you do not know where your logo is, if it is not in the right file types, you need to find it. Talk to your previous designer, ask them for these things. You see this company, I don't even know if that's English anywhere. Thank you for Google. Great image to find. But notice how they have all these variations of their logo. This really is the ideal. You want to be able to put your logo in different places and spaces depending on what the need calls for. And this is a great example of what that could look like. Then the next part of it is having it in the right file formats. Is this being printed? Will it be online? Does it need to have a colored background? Is this going to be blown up? What are the size dimensions for it? All good questions to ask if you are getting a logo for the first time, or go back to your designer and ask some questions. The color codes. What yellow is that? How black is that black? These are questions that you need to know the answers for so you can talk to your printer about them. And be thinking about maybe how you can spruce up your logo. It's not something that I have timeless on here. You want your logo to not be for just right now. You want to keep your logo for, I would say, at least 5 years. That's when you want to start thinking about rebranding. A lot of people will get a logo to start, and then within a year, they're getting a new logo. I don't know who you are now. If you make such a drastic change too soon, you possibly have lost all of your brand recognition. And then fonts, know what you got going on. So what is the name of this font? Is it in bold? Is it italic? Is it strong? Is it light? Is it medium? Know those things as well. Very important for logo design. If you do not have a logo, you definitely want a logo. That is how you share your brand. So we got the main L's haberdashery, and then we also have the nice lemon E that people hopefully will think about my lemonade with. Directories. Google search your business and everything that comes up, claim it, make sure it's up to date, make sure everything is there. Your Google My Business goes the bulk of the way, but there are so many other places your business may be listed. You want to make sure you own them and claim them and update them, check on them regularly, do a quarterly Google search of yourself to make sure that all of your things are correct. Reply always. So this is a little bit back to the social media, but it is a digital must. If someone takes the time to comment, you should respond. It is possibly tedious. You know, some of us are solopreneurs, but other times we have a team of people. Maybe someone is better at their verbiage than others, but you should do something. Minimally, give it a heart, give it a hand clap, give it something, but at least react to it. If you can, give a little upsell to it. Someone posted let's say it was a shirt. Someone commented and said, "That is so cute." The business just responded with all lowercase, "Thank you." I was kind of disappointed. There are definitely better ways you could have responded to that. You could have said, it's been our best seller this week, or we only have a few sizes left. We're getting it in cinnamon next week. I don't know what that color looks like, but maybe that's something that somebody wants to know about. Or we have some pants that pair perfectly with it. Come down to the store and try it on. We're open until 5 today. The person that you're responding to is not the only person that's going to see that message. So tell everybody, make sure it's aware of that. When it comes to comments, sometimes they get a little icky sticky, and I know most people are not the best at responding to negative things. I think this was mentioned last week. You don't need to respond immediately. Take some time, calm down if you need to, and strategize. What is your approach? That looks different for all people, but one of my suggestions is to go offline. So acknowledge what the person says, and then say, could you send us a message, or we've messaged you to talk more. Get it off of your timeline. Let people who are watching see that you've responded and that you're trying to do some engagement. I'm not going to say 9 times out of 10 or 7 out of 10, but sometimes people don't respond at all. They see that you want to have a private conversation and they bow out of it. But you look great to your audience because it looks like that you want to make good on whatever is going on. Then we have engagement here. As much as you can do from your business, you should do that. Facebook is always changing. I don't like it. But that's social media. That's the digital world. It's always here on the edge. Make sure when you can that you are commenting as your business from your business page. Okay? The chamber posts about an event coming up. Log in as your business. Wow, what another great opportunity for Alex City. Or I saw a new business is coming in town. Yay, welcome to the neighborhood. Something like that. Because again, everybody can see this. So make sure you share what you can. Make sure you comment as your business. But interact as your business. Your business should be engaging with the community at large online. Can y'all see what's happening here? This is a horrible photo, but it hit the point. Bless Nana's heart. She's there supporting somebody trying her best. I have no problem going on record anytime that I'm asked. I do not like video. I want no parts of it. So that is why the first thing up here is basically you don't need a TikTok. If you are really taking away from yourself to do something that you feel like you have to, you don't have to do that. You do not need a presence on TikTok. You won't catch me on TikTok. Now, am I watching TikTok videos / reels on Reddit, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram? Yes, but that's my business, and I will continue to do so to keep me off of this platform. I can't participate. But, no, you won't catch me dancing on anybody's camera. No. So, despite me feeling the way I feel about video, I know that video gets the best engagement. Video is promoted much more than just a text-only post or a photo-only. It's a moving picture. What can you do? So I talked about some of my daily content. Instead of me just showing here's one item on the haberdashery table today, I just take a little video of the haberdashery table. That is going to get better boosting, amplifying from Facebook than if I just did the photo. So anytime you can incorporate video, absolutely do so. And then the last one is practice that video. Get comfortable with being on camera. Get comfortable with selling your products. You do not have to put your face out there, but you should be incorporating video into the things that you do. Video on your website, video on your social media, video anywhere you can put it. A little bit back into the social media here. You can see these a little bit. Most people are living in their stories on Instagram. Does anybody say they scroll more than swipe on Instagram? Okay, a little combination. Excuse me. So you want to make sure that you are kind of prioritizing that. I said you need to have a presence on every social media platform, and really that's just so people can tag you. So if people say they came to the Lemonade and Haberdashery, if I didn't want to upsell myself on Instagram, which is probably the only social media that I would have at the Lemonade and Haberdashery, I could just do this example here, this week coming soon. I think the Square, when they launched, they did a great example of this. They basically just had their logo on their Instagram page. And then as they started doing work, they went to something else. These other examples here, your visual aesthetic is not important. Again, more people are looking at stories than there are your feed, so you don't have to worry about, I have to do a quote post this week, or this one has to be red, this color has to be blue. Don't frustrate yourself doing that. Just do what you can. That's really the part of it. But for me, I love the idea of the evergreen content of this is my logo, or here's just a spread of things that I do because my priority is somewhere else. But again, it's available. Yes?
So I had recently, said they want this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But then as soon as you post something else, isn't it going to screw it all up?
Archive. So if Lizzie's asking if I was to do, this technically would be a puzzle template if anybody wants to look it up. If I had a puzzle template and then I switched to something else, I would need to get rid of all of this, because now technically on Instagram, you could post 3 times a day. It goes so fast, it's not in chronological order, you could do that. So we're looking at the upper corner for the ones that have the photo, a graphic, and then another photo. I would say post all 3 at the same time. Just put them out there like that. And actually, the first one, that very similar images. Now you got to be careful with that. A lot of people have the same caption on all of them. That's okay, because Instagram is not chronological order. So people could see this next Thursday and then never see the other 2. It doesn't matter. So variety. But that's where education comes in. You want that, but nobody's really looking at it. And once you start scrolling, that's not really why I'm coming there. This is basically a landing page for people to click on the buttons, because I've changed my Instagram to a business profile. So I'm getting analytics so people can click my website, so people can click to call me. All that information is there. But no, it's not. It's something that people want, but it's not something that is so important in 2021 versus pre-Instagram story. Good question. Another freebie. I don't see a single name tag. I tell you what. I got mine on. Yay. No, you don't have one on. You tried, Liz. Hat to sock to surroundings. Your brand, we learned this in the first session, is so much more than just your logo. You can put your logo on anything. In fact, I believe you get a tax write-off for that. So I would have all kinds of stuff with my little lemon on it. And that would be my daily attire, but it would be stuff that I like. I don't have to get your classic polo. I'm going to get the shirt that I like. I saw a football coach. He loved Hawaiian shirts. So he got his logo on his Hawaiian shirts. He's repping the company, but he's wearing what he wants to. Put your logo on everything. I would absolutely have lemonade socks. That would be something that makes me unique or sets me apart. I wear a sweater 365 days a year. Okay, these elbows are always covered. People know that about me. That's part of my brand, covered elbows. Put it all together. And I would also incorporate some lemon socks. Anytime I went to a networking event or things like that, I would have on those lemon socks to draw a little attention to me. People would remember that about you. Oh, that's right. You have the lemonade in haberdashery. Yes, check us out. We have specials on Thursdays. Then surroundings, the last little bit about it. Make sure that your brand, whatever that is, also is visible to your building. Make sure you have those elements, whether that's colors or types of things you have. Make sure it's everywhere. Then we get to this. Show me the goods. We've got some variety of photos here. The middle one, that really doesn't serve my brand. We know that this is a lemonade stand at the end of a driveway. I'm not getting driveway. But the top photo, that looks like something I possibly could have taken. It seems more authentic to me. And then this bottom photo, oh, that's great. That doesn't look like it's anything extra special. So the comparison here is that you want to be careful about stock images. What can you do to be authentic? And then beside those, we have a nice little icon that's easy to work with. And then we have something that looks more like a special coming from the lemonade stand. If you can do your own content, that's better. But skipping ahead to the last one, seek professional help. Everybody cannot take a delicious photo of food. Another thing we learned last week, don't try it. We have done some amazing things. That's probably one of my favorite parts about the website building process is when we set up a shoot for our clients. We are going to make sure that their food looks spectacular and they're forever images. So you can get to use those in any way that you want to. Okay? But if you are selling online, do you need to have your pricing available? That's something that people are iffy about, depends on what you're selling. But if I am looking for a photographer, I am much more likely to engage with a photographer that has their prices on the website than someone else who has a vague contact us form simply because of the convenience. I could be making the wrong assumption, but I would choose that person just because I see their pricing available. Whatever I'm selling, I want descriptions, okay? If that is special clear ice that's hand cut, I'm gonna tell people about it. That's something that sets my brand apart, so I want people to know about it. I don't know why I'm doing that for the driveway lemonade stand, but hey, we're thinking about franchising. Who knows? Thank you so much. This was a secret I learned early in my career. Make sure you're being grateful, but saying thank you so much, I hope nobody steals this secret of mine. It sounds just a little bit more, so thank you so much. But really, we're here to talk about reviews. If someone tells you that they think you did a good job, immediately ask them, would you mind doing a testimonial? Or that is so nice. Do you mind if I write up this conversation and get you to approve it? How can you incorporate in the things that you do? Word of mouth is absolutely a great seller. Make it convenient for people to find those. And then if someone does give you a testimonial on your website or they go to your Facebook page and leave a review, is there possibly a way to reward them or incentivize them? Have a sign in your restaurant that says, if you leave us a review on Facebook, you can get X something or another for free, or maybe you can get an add-on. Some options there. And then give reviews. You want to make sure you send them out. If you can do them as your business, even better. Make sure you're supporting local and the people around you that take good care of you as well. Leave them reviews too. Oftentimes they'll return the favor. We talked about it a little earlier. Who am I calling? What's your telephone number? I don't even know. I'm assuming there's a 256 area code, and then that's all I know. I do not know. Your business card, if you don't have a business card, think about investing in a few of them, just a few, because they still have value. But you just need one name, one number, and one email address on all of your stuff. When you start adding additional names, that means the font gets smaller. Then we're adding telephone numbers. And now I have so many numbers I can't remember. There is a billboard driving here from Dadeville for the Heart Center. Does anybody know what that telephone number is? What do you mean y'all don't know? We drive the same road? So nobody knows what the telephone number is? Okay, Jacob's playing back there. I did an experiment because I am a commuter, and maybe it's easier for me because I am driving approximately the speed limit every single day to get here. What numbers can I remember on my commute? Can anybody guess which ones? Ding, ding, ding. 800, 8,000. Now, why do you think I remember that?
Because probably 10 times between here and.
Because it's so easy. I don't look at it.
Huge, yeah.
You go blind to it. That's part of the reason why it's important to switch up your ads and show variety. But I'm not focusing on that. If I wanted Alexander Shinnar, what would I do? Google him. But because I was doing this experiment, I know that his number is 800, 8,000 because it is clear, concise, and he took the effort to do that. I don't know what your telephone number is, especially when every single number is different. How am I going to catch that? So that's why you want to promote your URL, which is why it needs to be unique, memorable, easy to spit out. And then just another little thought on here, make sure you are always reinforcing your brand, how to get in contact with you. Every time that I posted something, I would have hashtags. I didn't think of them, but I would have some unique hashtags that were just for my business. So when you saw those, you knew that it was there. Definitely, hashtag driveway, lemonade, always on everything. But what else could make me unique? Put that on everything. There's no need to put your phone number on a Facebook post because where am I going? Your Facebook page to call you. Or I'm going to do a Google search and press a button. I don't know what your number is. I just press call now. So think about that. How to prioritize your telephone number. It really needs to be in your URL.
Can you go back to that point you just said about not putting would you not put your phone number, email, any of that stuff on a Facebook post?
No. And the reason why is because you can't click to do that. I would send people to my Facebook page, make sure I'm tagged there, but probably the thing that I find myself doing, if I go to someone's website, because they don't have a Google My Business, but they do have something or whatever have you, I go somewhere and I want to call them, the link is not clickable on their website. So now I have the website and my phone up, and I'm, area code, then I have to go back to the web page, remember those numbers, then go back here. Now I've called the wrong person. Now I'm back and forth on my phone when I can just press a button. So really there's not a lot of value in this. There was an advertiser, every publication, medium he used, he had a different telephone number. They're not going to show results because people are going to Google search and pressing a button. I don't know what the telephone number is. I don't even know I know what my office number is because I give that out, but I couldn't tell you how to call the Outlook front desk. But I can tell you go to AlexCityOutlook.com and find the things that you need. And I know you can press a button and contact them. So no, the telephone number is not important, especially if it's not clickable. There's really no need to do it. Now, a magazine, of course, put your telephone number there, but people, if someone is reading the newspaper, 70% of those people are going to go to Google and search. They're not going to call you based on that. They want more information first. So, waste of time. Don't do it.
Do you recommend the call to action buttons where you can click it?
If it's appropriate, yes.
Okay.
But that's really what it's about. If it's not clickable, if it's not memorable, then leave it off. So the final thing about links, on Instagram, you cannot put a link in your caption. I have seen people put super long links in their captions. I don't know why they do that. You can't click on it. I'm not going to remember that. How am I going to help you do business with me if I have 3 lines of a URL that is unclickable? But drivewaylemonade.com, I'm reinforcing my message. I'm branding myself. You could put that in your caption every single time. It doesn't have to be clickable. It's in other places, but again, that's a brand reinforcement is what I'm doing with that. Another offline freebie, business cards. I say that this is forever an opportunity because you can put so much on a business card. I know a restaurant owner, his business cards have a free appetizer or a free dessert on them. There are services where you can kind of shuffle your card around. So he has some that don't offer anything. He has some for dessert and some for an appetizer. That's an opportunity to get people to engage with you. It could be 10% off a service, or it could be this qualifies you for 1 free consultation. Use it as a tool. Use it as an opportunity to extend your business and encourage engagement. Thievery. I like that word. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you to all who served, and thank you for my parents and my Uncle Sam who helped educate me. Wonderful service. Again, such a big crowd for Veterans Day. Thank y'all for being here. I guarantee you, if we spent 5 minutes, we could find somebody that has a watermarked Veterans Day image on their page right now. It would be super quick. Google is not the place that you need to go for these things. Besides the copyright, whatever have you, you don't need to just take any image and put your logo on it. You still want to be authentic. And then so I have another example. I also don't want to basically hijack this post. I don't want to put my brand colors on this to try to make it look like me. No, let it just stand on its own, which is why I could post a bowl of lemons and an American flag. That's reinforcing my brand, but also keeping it up with the holiday that's going on. So yes, you want to be intentional. If all you do are post every holiday, then that's a start. You can schedule those in advance as well. But again, be intentional. Somebody put this together. That person probably made 2 cents off of that on iStock.com, but they still put their time into that. If you can credit someone, absolutely take the opportunity to do so. But again, just be more intentional about the content that you're putting out, because that makes all the difference. This gives me a sigh, but also it's what keeps me alive. You got to pay to play. This is a digital must. You have to spend a little bit of money. Facebook is sending your content to probably about 2% of your audience. If you only have a few hundred followers, you're not really getting far. So it is a lot. I always tell people, if McDonald's, Burger King, Apple, Starbucks, Coca-Cola, if they're investing literal billions, you should have an advertising budget as well. Word of mouth is whatever, but how are you trying to spread your business? Are you reaching new customers? How are you retaining your existing customers? And then when it comes to existing customers, they want to see that you're doing things in the community as well. They want to see that you are being supportive. So yes, you do need an advertising budget. There are very small ways that you can make investments in social media or just around. Let me slide you on the next slide, but now I love to say that I just do digital. I don't know how columns and inches work. I always say this is not my business, but I can point you to somebody. But I did ask a few questions. L's Lemonade and Haberdashery would be in every special section the newspaper had. If I know that there's How to Cook a Turkey is coming up, we have some Christmas opportunities, both of those are under $100. So that's 1 month, one investment into something that I know a lot of eyeballs are going to get on, but it's less than $100. And if I only do those things sporadically, I'm still reinforcing my brand. I'm still putting myself out there to a large number of people. So yes, be strategic, but you should have a budget. You should be spending money into growing your brand in some kind of capacity. I have an iPhone. I really don't, there's nothing. There's literally nothing that can make me get an Android phone. I have too many products and services. Apple is still spending nearly $1 billion in advertising. They have me for life until something drastic happens. But they're reinforcing their brand and they're getting new converts over. I still need to know about their new products. I still need to decide, do I want to upgrade to the next level AirPods? They got to reach me. So again, new, existing, maintaining what you got. All right, winding down. Last little offline freebie, support your local. You're here, you're part of the chamber, that's a huge step. How can you also do things around the community? I talked about commenting as your business. Make sure you're out and about. If there's an event to sponsor, if there's, again, small ways that you can be in the local paper, can you share the events that are happening in the city? Is there a way that maybe you can volunteer at the Christmas parade? I know we're all busy, but can you send a representative? Is there a way that your business can be in all these places? Switch it up a little bit. Try new restaurants. When you find out a new business in town, do you have time to go to their grand opening? Can you send them a thank you note? Can you have a Facebook message? How can you let people know that this is a good place to start a business, that this is a good community? You can definitely do that by supporting and being out there. Get that Hawaiian shirt with your logo on it. Content builds relationships. Relationships are built on trust, and trust builds revenue. Lots of things we talked about. Getting your digital presence in order lays the foundation so that it is easier for your ideal customer, client, consumer to interact with you. But again, just a few things to work on. These are all musts. Then as far as L's Lemonade and Haberdasher, you can find us on all the social media platforms. Don't forget to use hashtag Driveway Lemonade. Tag us in your photos. You may be featured in our story and qualify for our monthly prizes. Again, specials are on Thursdays. Look for the new drink of the week the first Friday of every month. Yay! That's what I have. Any questions? Going once, going twice. I don't linger for long.
When is the lemonade stand open?
I think we're looking at February 32nd and 2020, February,
2020.
somewhere around there. Yeah, we got to get that last digit in place. But again, don't forget, first Friday of every month. That's when we're putting out the new options there. Good for you.
Not on TikTok though.
Don't catch me there. Don't look for me. I will not be found there. Scrolling. Good content for business on social media there. I see you there.